This review for You Only Live Twice has spoilers. Week 5 for the James Bond movie marathon. I watched the 5th movie in the franchise, You Only Live Twice. My rating for You Only Live Twice is a 3.5 out of 5, and here's why. You Only Live Twice originally released back in 1967. It is directed by Lewis Gilbert, and once again, it reprises Sean Connery in the role of James Bond. It also stars Tetsuo Tanba, Mie Hama, Akiko Wakabayashi, and Donald Pleasence. At this point, we've gotten to the James Bond tropes in the beginning of the movie, and throughout the movie as well, where we have the gun barrel sequence leading into the prologue, and from the prologue into the title credit sequence, and then into the movie. In the prologue, we see a spaceship in space performing a mission of sorts, to where we see this spaceship get hijacked by another mysterious spaceship. And then it goes into this UN type of meeting where Russia and the US are arguing over the fact that they think Russia stole their spaceship, with the UK being in the middle, wanting to resolve this conflict as to not start a war. And then we cut to James Bond in Hong Kong, where he's doing the normal James Bond thing. And then all of a sudden, we see that the girl he was with, she turned on that foldable bed, and then these two guys randomly come out and kill Bond. And Bond's dead. Then it goes into the title credit sequence. The You Only Live Twice theme song is sung by Nancy Sinatra. And it's a pretty cool title credit sequence where they have these parasols that kind of bloom out, and then silhouettes of Japanese ladies. And then into the movie, we find out that they faked James Bond's death. They did this so that Spectre especially would be unaware that he's actually alive and that he has more room to work with performing this mission. And this mission is a big one. James Bond would help this mission from Her Majesty in order to investigate this missing spaceship. Their intelligence showed that the spaceship that hijacked the US spaceship landed somewhere in Japan, whereas the US figured it landed in Russia. With that, James Bond gets assigned to go to Japan to investigate. This movie brought a lot of different stuff in comparison to the previous 4 films, and it really showcased the technology of the Japanese. Again, they did provide a whole bunch of fictional, yet fictional then, real now type of technology. So after meeting with the contacts in Japan, James Bond would start the investigation, which would lead him and his contacts group to a small island in Japan. His contact, Tanaka, or as he would like to be known as Tiger, in order for him to fit in, Tiger would have to make him look Japanese, and that's what they did. Which I find kind of ridiculous, but to its purpose, it's understandable that he has to look the part without having his cover blown. Midway through the movie, we would find out that this mysterious spaceship hijacked another spaceship, which was a Russian spaceship, and that when they return to their base, we find out that it is Spectre behind all of this. Now, one of Spectre's henchmen went and attempted to kill James Bond, but that was unsuccessful. But sadly, it was at the cost of one of the contacts he met with, Aki. She was poisoned instead of James Bond. The other Bond girl is the one James Bond would marry in order to fit into this community, this small village that they're visiting at this small island where they believe the base is located. And then further investigations about the island happened, and then Kissy, the other Bond girl, would join him and find out where this base is located. and they find this volcano crater where it looks like it's water, but it's actually a hatch for the base where they launch the rockets or any other vehicles coming in and out. As he infiltrated the base, this is where James Bond meets the #1 of Spectre, Ernst Stavro Blofeld. It took 4 movies and 1 hour and 38 minutes into this movie to finally see the face of Blofeld. And then a big massive battle would happen between Tiger's men and all of Spectre inside that base. Because before that time they launched another spaceship to hijack a US spaceship that has been launched. With the spaceship it has the marks of the Soviet Union to where they could frame it on the Russians. A whole bunch of battling later, they managed to blow up Spectre's spaceship and all is well. They prevented World War III. With You Only Live Twice, I feel that it is on par with Thunderball. At this point, they didn't really step up in the action, but they did step up in effects and different technologies fictionalized in the story. And like I said earlier, these fictionalized technologies so happen to become real today, especially with landing a rocket. In this movie, we see Spectre land their rocket like a helicopter. And today we see Tesla with the SpaceX program. Their goal is to land these rockets like it's landing back in its original position. And then there's that one piece of technology when Bond was flying Little Nelly, where he had a helmet camera. And I mean, we have those today. We have stuff like that in this day and age that is pretty much normal now and available. The acting in this was alright. Some of the Japanese extras and actors, they overacted a bit. Although Donald Pleasance is a very menacing Blofeld. But with the uniqueness in the beginning, with the reveal of Blofeld, this is an exciting movie. And especially the third act battle, it's really exciting. That plus it uses more different types of fighting styles because they showcased Japanese martial arts with samurai swords, ninjutsu, and karate. You Only Live Twice is a good movie, and it helps continue the story of Bond versus Spectre. That's it for my review of You Only Live Twice. Next week on the weekly Bond movie marathon, it would be on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Make sure to subscribe to the Spellgo YouTube channel to check that out, and check out more of my content. Thank you for watching, guys.